Hi, I'm Chef Deborah from Roca's Bakery in Greensboro, North Carolina. Today we're going to be making a very traditional French dessert, again a French dessert called Baked Alaska. And this is basically an ice cream cake with meringue on top. And it's super easy to do, it's fun to do with the family, the kids, grandkids, whatever, friends. Today I've got my daughter Rachel here from West Palm Beach. She's going to be helping us, and we're enjoying having her here. You can visit Roca's Bakery online at rocasbakery.com. We are on Instagram and Facebook. Please visit it on our website. You can keep up with everything that's going on. We have an online store where you can do shopping. We ship nationwide as well. So we're going to start today with our Baked Alaska. And what I did a couple of days ago, I made a vanilla pound cake. We want to have a pound cake or genoise cake or a sponge cake that you use like for jelly roll. Whatever your favorite cake. If you don't want to bake a cake, you can certainly buy a pound cake from the store, the grocery store, in their freezer section. And that works absolutely wonderful as well.
So I'm not as good a baker as you are. I'm lazy. If I were to use like a box pound cake mix, would that be okay? I mean, it wouldn't be as good as yours, but.
Yes, you could use a box mix, a pound cake. A regular cake mix is too fragile and it's too light and airy for this cake, for this dessert. So you need to have something a little bit denser. So yes, absolutely, if you want to use a box pound cake mix, there's a lot of them on the market. You can certainly buy one there and bake it off as well. But if you don't want to turn the oven on and you want to do this, you know, like kind of as a last minute dessert, go ahead and buy something out of the freezer section, thaw it out, and cut it the way I'm showing you to fit the pan. So earlier, before we started filming, I did make a different shape so that you can see the different shapes that you can, and again, your imagination is the limit for this type of cake. So we're going to do a vanilla base with a chocolate truffle center, and then vanilla on top of that with cake. When I did the loaf size, what I did was I took the chocolate ice cream and I rolled it, I just placed it on some saran wrap and pressed it into a tube-like shape and stuck it down into the middle. And so when you slice it, you have this nice round section of chocolate truffle ice cream through the loaf pan, which makes a great presentation. And this will make a great presentation as well because it will have, the center will be chocolate truffle. So we're going to go ahead and start cutting the pound cake. And because it is a dome shape, it will actually invert it, and so when the finished product will be upside down like this, and so this will be the shape of the cake. But we line it with a couple layers of plastic wrap so that we can just pull it up out of the mold and put it on your serving platter and not have to worry about anything. So the first thing we want to do is cut the edges off the cake. We don't want, you know, the caramelized edges to be in our cake. We want just the plain cake. And you know, you don't want to throw this away because you can crumble this up and put it over some of the ice cream that's left over, and it would be a great dessert.
I bet it would be
a great dessert. Did you sneak a piece?
No.
Nope. So we're going to cut in about 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit thicker than that, pieces like this. We just want to mold the cake into the size of the pan, like this. And so what we're going to have to end up doing is cutting like little triangles to fill in the spaces. So you want to try and do that, Rachel? See it?
Lefty.
Yeah, I'm a lefty. She's a righty.
How thick do you want it?
About like that. But you know, as far as your ice cream flavors, you can do like a French vanilla with a coffee ice cream. Which would be absolutely wonderful. You could do a Neapolitan, you could do strawberries and cream.
You can make your own ice cream.
You can make, yeah, I mean, it is really, like I said, your imagination, let it go wild, because it's, this is one of those desserts that you can just really have a lot of fun with. So we're going to do some wedges here. See how we just kind of fill the spaces in like that? Like that. There we go.
It's like a cake puzzle.
And just like a cake puzzle, absolutely.
That's probably why I don't bake. It requires measuring.
Yeah, math actually is used a lot, and chemistry is used a lot in fact, we have sections in pastry school for just that. So we're going to put this aside. So we've got our cake mold lined with our nice pound cake. And we're going to start with our vanilla ice cream. And again, whatever flavors are your favorite. My husband is butter pecan. He would just like it to be all butter pecan probably, or vanilla with a butter pecan center. And so we're just going to take this and
So it looks pretty soft.
yeah, we don't want it melted, but we want it to be soft. Now, I have had this at room temperature for about 30 minutes, and it's about the right consistency. You know, if you don't want to wait, you can pop it in the microwave, just don't melt it. So we're going to put a good bit on the bottom here, and because it's still pretty stiff, we can go ahead and add the chocolate right on top. Normally, I would say cover this and put it in the freezer for about 15 minutes if you want a clean delineation between the flavors. But because I think we'll be okay, I'm gonna smash this a little bit. And you can put that on top of there and we can spread it around.
I get to smash something.
You get to smash something. And when we're doing the second layer, we don't want to press down into the vanilla to mess up the demarcation line between the two flavors. So we just want to lightly spread it. So I'll grab an offset spatula, and then we'll put more vanilla ice cream on top of this, and then more cake on top of that. But any flavor of ice cream. I've never done a baked Alaska with a gelato, although I think you want it to freeze hard. So I think probably a regular ice cream would be better. And so you just spread it out like that, so nice and smooth. And we are going to pop this back in the freezer for just a couple of minutes. While this is hardening, we're going to go ahead and make our meringue. And then we'll come back and we'll put the vanilla ice cream and then we'll pop it back in the freezer again. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. So we're back with our baked Alaska. We're going to do our last layer of vanilla ice cream on top of our chocolate truffle. And then we're going to top it with some cake, cover it again, and put it back in the freezer. So Rachel's going to go ahead and do that so you can see how easy it is. And if you wanted to make, 2 additional layers, different ice creams on this, to make it multicolored, you can do vertical. You can put your ice cream this way in the bowl rather than round. So all different, like I said earlier, all of it is only limited by your imagination. So we're going to go ahead and cut the cake. Probably, since it's a square, just take sheets of it like that. And we're going to have to, again, probably cut the corners off to make it a little bit more round, so that because it is a square.
Again, I failed geometry.
Yeah. And so this time, let's cut it in half, like this, and we'll go ahead and trim the edges around, and we'll set it this way, around, okay? Whatever we have to do to the cake to get it even.
Hashtag ugly cake.
Hashtag ugly cake, but nobody sees cake. Yeah. Stick one right over there. Okay, we're going to cover this. We don't want to press it down too much.
Is it okay? It's oozing out on the side?
We can trim that off, and the meringue will cover all of that. So this is a very forgiving cake, so we can just push it back up in there like that. Cover it up, stick it back in the freezer, and when it's frozen solid, we'll come back and we've made our meringue already, so we'll come back and decorate the outside of the cake and make it look really beautiful. So we'll see you when this is frozen hard. So we're back with our baked Alaskas. So we have our loaf and we have our dome shape. So Rachel's going to go ahead and she's going to spread the meringue on the loaf side, but I'll show you how to unmold this first. So see, this makes it nice and easy. We can just take it right out of the pan, and this is clean, so we can set that aside. And grab a hold of the ends and just flip it upside down like that. It's just super easy to do. And so this is frozen solid. This has been in the freezer for a couple of days. So she's going to go ahead and spread the meringue, and we're going to do a spiked effect on this. She's going to learn as everyone else is learning today.
So am I spreading first?
Yeah, go ahead and spread first, nice thick. Let's use a offset spatula. That might be easier for you. Yeah, than the big old rubber spatula. Now for those who have mommies to be in your house, or people who don't want to eat an uncooked meringue, this is an Italian meringue, and it is cooked, and you can find the recipe on the web just about anywhere. It does take a little bit, maybe 15 minutes to make, but it is a cooked meringue. You put hot sugar syrup in it, in the beaten egg whites with a little bit of sugar, and so it is a cooked product, so you don't have to worry about it spoiling. You don't have to worry about eating a raw egg product. So the bakery uses this exclusively in our buttercreams as well as our meringues, just for the safety factor. Plus, it's really delicious and super creamy. But if you prefer the traditional meringue, by all means make that. It works just as well. Just be mindful that if you do have mommies to be, that a raw egg product is not safe for them to eat. And while she's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and unmold our dome. You're doing a pretty good job.
More?
Maybe right up here. We want to have, let me just check it real quick, just to see the thickness of it. We want to be sure that all of the cake is covered all the way down to the base of the, you can see where I'm working, down to the base of the cake to touch the glass so that it's, or the porcelain platter, so that it's sealed like that. There we go. So we just take it all the way down, and we want a nice thick coating. Do some of that there, because we want to do a nice spiky design on this one.
So when you say thick, I mean, this is like, looks like ½ an inch.
Yeah, or as thick as you want to, actually. If you're a real meringue lover, on our meringue pies that we make, our chocolate meringue or lemon meringue, we have what we call a mile-high meringue pie, and we'll have 8 inches of meringue on top of the pie. So I think let's do a little bit more on the sides to get a nice spike here. We just want to get it even, just for the purpose of design, so that everything is, the spikes are evenly distributed. And when I'm talking about spikes, I'll show you here in just a second. And Rachel's going to do the whole cake. Okay, so when we're talking about spike design, we can swirl. See, we probably could have had a little bit more on top. You can use this, or you can use a spoon. And while she's doing that, I'm going to pipe some rosettes. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, just go ahead and pile it on. And I've got a large closed star tip on this bag, and I'm just going to start piping rosettes here.
So smooth.
Yeah, that's good. And then you can, like this, and just bring it up and make little spikes on it, like that.
Could you put food coloring in the meringue?
Yes, you could put food coloring in the meringue. So you don't have to have it white. You can have it just about any color that you want. And I'm just going to have enough meringue to do this. And so what we're going to need to finish this off is a blowtorch. If you don't have a blowtorch, a kitchen torch, we're going to... Rachel jumped on that. She likes fire. And let's wipe the sticky up here so we can slide the plate. And Rachel, let's go ahead and do some spikes on the side if we can. Okay. And this is a kitchen torch. You can buy these online. You can get them just about anywhere. They work really great. We use them all the time. We have big ones and small ones in the bakery, of course. If you do not have a kitchen torch and don't want to buy a kitchen torch, you can put this under the broiler, but watch it carefully. Remember, this is ice cream, and make sure that if you are going to do that, that it is frozen solid hard, because you don't want to have a melty mess underneath your broiler.
That'd be something.
Yeah. So anyway, so the kitchen torch works really great, and we use this on creme brulee all the time. So it's our favorite dessert, right, daughter? Yes. So we're going to go ahead and torch the meringue, and it gives a beautiful, beautiful finish to it. And also, as you're torching, you want to be sure that you have a fireproof platter. You obviously don't want to do this on a paper plate or a styrofoam tray or anything like that. It needs to be able to...
Smells good.
Yeah. And I love the swirls, the rosettes design, because once it's torched, it's beautiful. All of those little crevices and the designs that come out, it just like brings it to life. It's like seeing things in single dimension and then 3-dimension. And so the effects that we can get in the bakery are really awesome, depending on what you do and the technique that you use. And you don't want to torch it too brown, because you don't want it to look burnt, and you definitely don't want it to smell burnt, but you really want to get a nice torch on it just to bring out all of the design elements. There, babe, go ahead, torch yours. You can pull it back a little bit too close. There we go. And you want to keep it moving. You don't want to leave it sit in any one spot, otherwise it'll burn really easy. Hold it this way. There we go. Two very different looks, two very different shapes. Again, you can, if you have any kind of an odd-shaped bowl, a triangle bowl, or a square, you can do it just about any shape, but make sure it's deep enough that you can get a good dimensional dessert, because when we cut this, that's when the drama happens. So when we cut into it and people can see the cake and they can see the chocolate in the middle and the vanilla on the outside, and if you want to make your, put a thicker layer of meringue and make your spikes really tall, you can actually pipe spikes all over it with a round tip on your pastry bag to make them really spiky and stick up this tall. Sometimes I've done it like that, and it really gives it a very out of this world kind of look to it. So, how you doing there?
I don't know.
Okay, let's get a little more on this side right here, and over here, down towards the plate. You won't hurt the plate. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Down towards the plate. And on this side here. Got it? Going too fast? Come on, step it up, step it up.
I can only fire so fast.
That looks good. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll shut it off. There we go. And let's clean up that tray just a tiny bit here. You've seen us make both shapes, and they're actually really super easy to make. And it's a basic ice cream cake with a really elegant finish to it. So we're gonna cut into one of these. I'm thinking,
how long could you let this sit out? I mean, I know it's ice cream, so I get that eventually it's going to melt, but
well,
like if you're having a party, when would you set this out?
I would probably set it out no more than 15 minutes before you want to cut. Okay. Only because it is ice cream. It is frozen hard, so it will take a few minutes to actually thaw and even begin to start getting runny. Okay. But just for the ease of cutting, we're going to get hot tap water, and a sharp knife, and get your plates that you want to serve it on. So we're going to go ahead and get those right now so that you can see what it looks like when it's served on a plate. Okay, so we're back here with our hot water. We're going to just take it and just wipe it off. Then we'll go ahead and see how it cuts here. Should cut pretty easy. There we go. There's our piece of baked Alaska. This has a chocolate center in it with the vanilla. And this is going to be the same, but obviously it will be more like a pie cut.
Would you ever make any sort of sauce or drizzle?
And then you have, this would be served like as a slice of pie like this.
That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, so it all comes together pretty nice. I would probably you could serve fruit with this. A sauce, you could do a chocolate sauce since it is chocolate and vanilla. Typically, this is not served with any sauce at all. Okay. But if you wanted to, with this being a chocolate truffle sauce, you could maybe do a caramel. If you're doing coffee ice cream with a French vanilla, you could do a chocolate sauce that would be nice with it. But typically, with the meringue and the ice cream and the cake, it's a lot going on in this dessert. So this is a pretty classic dessert served just the way that it is. So this is our baked Alaska, and we have been thrilled to bring this to you, our home bakers and our followers. This is Chef Deborah and Rachel from Roca's Bakery in Greensboro, North Carolina, signing off for today. Please Please visit us on our Facebook and Instagram pages, or follow us on our website at rocasbakery.com for all of our new treats and sweets and breads and cakes, and look at our photo gallery, and don't forget our online store. We ship nationwide. Until next time, bon appetit.